Hi everyone, it's been 3 months since starting to study Italian, and you can see that first video somewhere up there. Ciao a tutti, sono passati 3 mesi da quando ho iniziato a studiare l'italiano. Dico la verità quando ti dico che non è stato facile. Soprattutto non è stato facile rimanere motivati. Ma dopo 3 mesi ora posso parlare un po' di italiano. Parlo correntemente l'italiano? Assolutamente no, ma penso che ora potrei andare in Italia. Le persone sarebbero in grado di capire quel che dico. This experience has taught me a lot about language acquisition and what's available out there in terms of tools. And my goal in this video is to give you some advice on what I think works, but also some things to be aware of. And I'll talk about those as well. Before I go any further, though, I need to say that I am not sponsored by anybody except you because you're watching this video. And I'm guessing that at some point YouTube has inserted an ad or two, so thanks for watching. I should also say that these methods that I used worked for me. They may not fit your personal learning personality, but I think these are worth a try, especially as almost all of them don't cost a thing except for one of them. And I took a 5-pillar approach to learning the language. First, I purchased the first 2 levels of the Pimsleur Italian course. And I found this good, and the way it works is simple. As you learn, and as the learner, you repeat phrases and answer questions of increasing difficulty. The big benefit of this method is that you're able to hear the language at near native speed and able to respond over and over, and they repeat things throughout the course. The drawback is that you are dependent solely on Pimsleur. You are a bit limited in the speed that you can learn, and Pimsleur doesn't cover grammar explanations very well, and I would have found that useful. Also, I really wanted to read what I was learning, and Pimsleur doesn't give you that option. Each section takes about 30 minutes, and I did this 5 days a week. Second, completely free, but I used Duolingo as well. I found this a great way to build on vocabulary and as a way to get some explanation of grammar points, because as I mentioned, Pimsleur lacks a bit on grammar explanations. The nice thing about Duolingo is that you really work at your own pace. It was a great way to reinforce what I was learning in the other methods. Again, Duolingo is free. They have a paid version, but that's just to get rid of the commercials, which can get a bit annoying. Third, TV. Not exactly free, but we subscribe to an IPTV service that includes about 50 Italian TV channels. And I would watch Italian TV for about an hour each day. The idea was that by doing this, I would become used to the pace of the language and almost by osmosis start to absorb some of the mannerisms and maybe even some of the vocabulary. It also gave me a window into everyday life in Italy, and it was quite interesting to do. However, it was really difficult at first. I would be sitting in front of the TV trying to pay attention and trying really hard not to fall asleep, as I didn't understand a thing that was being said. However, after a couple of days even, I was picking up things here and there, and at the end of the 3 months, I was actually understanding quite a bit. Fourth was the route memorization of Italian phrases using a completely free open source software called Anki. Now, Anki is just a digital flip card system, and you can use it for anything you want to study. People create and upload decks of cards that you can freely download. And I found one deck with 15,000 of the most used phrases in Italian. This was actually quite fun. I did not get close to the 15,000, but I set Anki to teach me 5 new phrases per day. And I would learn the new phrases and then review the ones that I previously learned. This gave me a great way not only to build vocabulary, but build phrases which are really the building blocks of any language. The hard part with Anki was to keep up with it. It's completely self-regulated, so if you aren't disciplined, you start to fall behind. Fortunately, the software recognizes which words need to be reviewed, and if you want to memorize a mass of information, I cannot think of a better way to do it. 5th is finding a partner to practice. All of the other methods start to show their weaknesses if you don't practice with a real live person. I was blessed to have Amanda, a Canadian living in Italy, to offer to meet online once a week so that I can practice and bounce questions off of her. This was amazing, but it would have been better if I had actually taken more advantage of the offer. In the end, we only met like 3 times, and I know that being more diligent with this would have made much more of a difference. Amanda, a public thank you for everything, and I'm sorry that it didn't work harder to get this to work. Schedules and time difference was difficult, but that's really no excuse. I've put a link to Amanda's Instagram page in the description. Do her and me and you a favor and go and subscribe. If I was to make one suggestion, I would say find a language partner or 2 and lock yourself into meeting with them as often as possible. Overall, these 3 months were an amazing experience, a great trial, and I believe it was successful. However, the hardest part was staying motivated. I guess that's like anything else, but I've always said that the acquisition of any language is never an easy task. It takes work. The trick is to try to find a way to continually want to work hard. In all, I spent between 3 and 4 hours per day, and I'm glad that I did. I left links below to some of the resources I talked about, and if you're about to learn a language, I wish you all the best. Thanks for watching. Until next time.